Hello, gorgeous. It's LaShanda Henry here, aka Sister Sense, and today's dose of daily direction is all about maximizing your morning magic. Now, first and foremost, let me say, by no means am I a morning person, okay? If there was an alarm clock that I could smash, I would smash it. But you know what? When you are adulting and you've got mommy responsibilities and mini me's that need to be up at the crack of dawn to go to school, whether you like it or not, you've got to get up in the morning. And of course, when you are like myself, an entrepreneur, and you've got things to do in your business, you got to make sure that you're consistently self-motivated to get those things done and make it happen. So today, I'm going to talk about how to slay the day by sharing 7 ways you can maximize your magic in the morning. Yes. All right. So I have been recently embracing this concept called the 5-second rule by this wonderful woman. I believe her name is Mel Robbins. And essentially she says, none of us wake up and say, you know what, I'm going to self-sabotage. I'm going to destroy my life. I'm going to do everything in my power to not succeed. Nobody does that, right? Intentionally anyway. But on some degree, a lot of us subconsciously self-sabotage within 5-second periods. You know, you make that decision in 5 seconds to get up and do something productive or to roll over and go back to sleep. You make a decision in 5 seconds to get in front of your computer and finally do that thing you've been procrastinating on, or to turn on your tablet and watch Netflix for like 6 hours, right? It's the little things that we do and the little decisions that we make within 5 seconds that dictate how we run our day, how we run our lives, and how we are unable to or able to actualize whatever it is that you believe success to be based on the little decisions that you make throughout the day. So I am really one of those people who pride myself on my superpower being to self-motivate and be an internal optimist. And when I feel like I don't have the energy to do any of those things, I take a break and recharge until I can bring that energy back inside of me. But I certainly love the idea of the 5-second rule, and I try to embrace it as much as possible so I can snap myself back into reality when I am making these little decisions that are affecting my day, and turning hours that can be used productively into downtime. Okay, so I just wanted to share that with you. By the way, let me say this. If you go to sistersense.com/morning magic, I'm probably going to have a PDF there so I can share some of the resources that I mentioned in this fabulous daily direction episode today, because I've got a ton of resources and tips and tools and all that good stuff to share with you, which sometimes can be a little bit much. But don't be mad at me because I'm extra and I love it. So I know you love it too. So again, side note, go to sistersense.com/morning magic for that power PDF full of all the resources that I plan to share with you today. So that being said, in my head this morning, I was super exhausted, but I said, you know what? I'm going to do the 5-second rule and choose to do something productive versus go back to sleep. Because you know, Mama Bear is good for taking an extra nap in the morning. And my home is where I work, so I can do that. But I said, no, we're not going to go and get 2 extra winks. Let's go and do something productive. So I was a little bit anxious because yesterday on Wednesdays, I host my clarity calls. Clarity calls are 30 and 60-minute sessions that I have with clients to help them get clear about what they need to do in their business. I had 6 of them yesterday. Oh my goodness. Which is a lot of work. It's a lot of thinking and working on problem solving for different people, but problem solving, one of my superpowers. So embracing your superpowers, by the way, is a good way to slay the day. Make sure that you're aware of those things that you are so amazing at, that, you know, it would just be, it would be a loss to the world if you didn't share those superpowers with us in one way, shape, or form. And I share that with you because as women, especially if you are a woman listening to me today, more often than not, we put ourselves in spaces where we're super hard on ourselves as opposed to embracing our superpowers. And we are oftentimes saying, well, I can't do that because I'm not qualified. And listen, baby girl, if there's something that you are awesome at, that you do naturally with your eyes closed and your hands tied behind your back, you are above and beyond qualified to share your superpowers with the world. So embrace them and make sure that you never forget you are a gift, you are gifted, and you have gifts to give. If you never hear anybody tell you that, LaShanda told you that today. You're a gift, you are gifted, and you have gifts to give. So stop telling folks and stop telling yourself that you are unqualified. Stop criticizing your work and looking at it and tilting your head to the side and saying, I know I put it out there, but I don't really like it. Stop cringing. Listen, you are a gift. You are gifted. You have gifts to give. So you better embrace them superpowers, baby, because I want to see you glow up. You grow up, you show up, and glow up in this universe that we have right here. Okay, I'm going to get off my soapbox. I'm going to get off my soapbox and get back on to the topic at hand, maximizing your morning magic. Like I said, one of my superpowers is helping my clients streamline and get clear about what they need to do. So I had a ton of clarity calls yesterday, but then it created a little bit of anxiety for me because I said, man, I had all these calls. Now I have all this web client work because by the way, I am a web designer. I've been building websites for almost 2 decades now. I've got all these web client work projects that I've got to do, and people are emailing me like, LaShanda, I need you to take on another project, and I'm like, Lord, I need the money, but Lord, you know when you like the money but you hate the work. Okay, let me stop playing. No, I love my work. I love what I do. I wouldn't do it if I didn't love it. But of course, when you're good at what you do and you build a buzz and a demand, sometimes, honestly, it can get overwhelming when you've got a lot of projects to complete plus projects coming in at, simultaneously. So that anxiety came in and I was in a space where I was just momentarily feeling a little bit overwhelmed. If you ever feel overwhelmed, let me say this. Mind you, I haven't even gotten to the strategies yet, right? I'm just giving you some good just based off of what I'm feeling and what I feel like you should be hearing right now. If you ever find your space where you're anxious and you're overwhelmed, one of the things that I like to do is to come up with a knockout list, something that I can do relatively quickly to feel accomplished, to feel like I did something, I completed something, so I can pat myself on the back and say, yay! You did good today. Okay, on to the next thing, right? Because again, if you are in a space where you're always telling yourself you're not qualified, where you're always criticizing yourself, you put stuff out there and then you look at it and go, I don't really like it. When you're like in this space where you're like, oh, I didn't get anything done, boom, boom, boom. You're beating yourself up in dark corners. That's going to take a toll on your business because as an entrepreneur, you're your business, right? If you don't work, the business doesn't work. So one of the ways that I try to reprogram myself is by doing these short knockout lists, which is number 1 on my ways to maximize the morning that make me feel good. Okay. So today I said to myself, before I even dive into work for clients and, getting some things done for them and catching up on that stuff, let me do something that is going to help me in the business. And for me, one of the big things about business is having real conversations with real people. Let me say this. If you are in a space where you're trying to figure out technology and you're trying to figure out the right techniques to use to make money and market online, I want you to strip away all that anxiety and keep it simple. Remember that at the end of the day, your goal is to reach real people, have real conversations, make real connections so you can generate real money. Okay? In order for you to do that, you've got to keep in mind, you're not just kind of throwing stuff out there in the Webisverse and then praying that these random people you don't know without faces open their pocketbook, take out their debit cards and pay you money. Okay. And I feel like that's how people are like computing this, taking for granted or not really realizing when you create content or you send out an email or you create a video, there are real people on the other end of this thing called a web that are watching and reading and consuming and taking in your stuff. So what matters most is that when you are in these spaces, you're not just kind of having these digital monologues where you're like throwing out information and teaching and just putting it out there and praying that somebody takes it. You're creating conversations that are engaging, where people want to communicate with you across the web and build real relationships with you that create a sustainable business. Now, that being said, for me, one of the, knockout amazing things that I like to do is to sit down and go through some of the email messages that I get from real people and respond to them. Now, that may seem like a little thing for you, but to me, I'm going to be honest with you, there are a lot of people who, in the pursuit of getting more, don't realize what they have right in front of them. They ignore the one or the two comments. They ignore the one or the two messages in pursuit of getting thousands and hundreds, because they think that those one or two, it's just a drop in the bucket. It's not really going to matter if I respond to them, or this person says something that's totally crazy. Yeah, I'm not even going to respond to them, right? But in doing those things, in not having, or rather in not following up with those real conversations, you're leaving money on the table and you're missing out on the real reason you're doing this, which is to reach real people through real practical solutions online. So I decided that I was going to knock out my list and respond to a few emails, two in particular. Number one, I keep getting emails from people who are sharing their stories with me about how they met me. Why? Because I said to my community, hey, how did you find me online? Share your story with me. And if you do, I will share something right back with you. A little mini Sister Sense gift, because I like to give out gifts, especially when people take the time to engage and communicate back with me. By the way, if you want to do that, if you have like a this is how I met LaShanda Sister Sense story, feel free to email me, sistersense@gmail.com. Share your story with me and I'll send you something right back as a little Sister Sense thank you surprise. So people have been responding, which I love. And so I'm responding back to them and sharing their surprise gifts. And also people have been asking me about, what it takes to work with me, to build websites. So I'm responding to those web service questions as well as the how did you find Sister Sense stories. Now, I said, let me just kind of knock out a couple of those responses and then move into the next thing for the day. And the minute I opened my inbox, I saw one of my clients who I had a clarity call with yesterday. She emailed me. So I said, let me read that email before I do anything else. And her email was a graphic, beautiful graphic. It said, darling, you are fabulous. And I just smiled from ear to ear, because here's the deal. I just said to you, I'm sitting here going, you suck. You suck. You've got all this web client work to do. There were some things that you were supposed to finish yesterday that you didn't even start. You had 6 calls. You have all this work. That's like the web business, not even like the house stuff that I need to do, right? The mommy stuff, right? All of that stuff. And I'm like, you suck. And so this person sends me this message and I'm like, aw, I love you. I love my clients. I love what I do. And I always get a quick recharge when I'm able to connect with them on a deeper level. So I first created my knockout list. I didn't start it. I said, you know what? Somebody needs to hear this message today. So number 2, I took that graphic and I jumped on Instagram and created a post. So I took the graphic, saved it, went on Instagram. My Instagram, by the way, is @SisterSense. So you'll probably see that graphic there. And it's just beautiful. It says, darling, you are fabulous. So then I wrote the following. After leading 6 clarity calls yesterday, I was exhausted and feeling a little anxious about my web design work today. But then I opened my inbox to find one of my fabulous mentees send me this fabulous message. Moral of the story, when the universe sends you a kind word, take it all in. Note to self, message received. achieved. One of the things that some of us women, some of us women of color, some of us sister girls, one of the things that we can't do or we struggle with is taking compliments. We are so hypercritical of ourselves. The idea of somebody saying something nice or good to us, we cringe at, or we diminish, or we deflect and give it, oh girl, please, I ain't fabulous. This is nothing, girl. What? Forget nothing, please. You're fabulous, right? We try to give it back to them and relinquish that power. No, it's not me. It's you. I was like, thank you. Thank you. Because what the universe is saying is, listen, you need to know that you are fabulous. And regardless of whatever you didn't complete, or regardless of how much work you've got to do, you're fabulous in what you've done and how you're able to share your superpower gift with the world. Somebody is telling you that. Take it in. Feel good. Feel empowered. Embrace that superpower and go be the badass boss that you are meant to be. Period. The end. Don't deflect it. Don't reject it. Don't diminish it. Take it in. Make you feel good. Make you feel full, like you just had that perfect meal that just filled every ounce of you. Embrace it and move forward. So I felt like I had to share that. I was feeling that. Obviously, hopefully you can feel that through the energy I'm trying to send to you with my voice through this message. Embrace, darling, you are fabulous. Embrace it. Hear it. Whatever it hits inside of you, let it hit. Let it drum through every aspect of you. Use that fuel to maximize your morning magic and take that magic into the day so you're maintaining your momentum. So number one, I said for you, if you can create a knockout list for yourself, right? So if you can create an amazing list to say, let me get these things done before I do anything else. Awesome. Do that. Feel accomplished in that space, right? So you can start the day feeling great. Like, listen, I slayed this list. I'm about to slay my day in a million other ways. By the way, I do have a book that I created. It's called Do Something and Feel Accomplished. And within that book, I put in all of these little short action projects that you can do for yourself, for your clients, for your business, for your brand, for your marketing, for your sales, so that you can feel like you're doing something literally that's going to help you feel accomplished throughout the day. You can learn more about that at dosomething.sistersense.com. But of course, like I said, if you go to sistersense.com/money magic, you'll find a free power PDF chock full of all the resources that I'm sharing with you today. You'll find them in that PDF. Okay. So number one was the knockout list. Number two was going on your favorite social media platform and sharing a message so that you're communicating with your community in different ways. So remember that first part of it. Number one, my activity for the knockout list was to communicate with my clients and customers through email. Number two, communicating with your clients and customers across social media platforms is just a smart thing to do consistently to keep them connected and to also attract new people. Right? So I chose to go on Instagram, and I'll tell you why. Because she sent me a graphic, and Instagram is picture-based, so I wanted to upload that beautiful graphic there. Again, my Instagram page is at SisterSense. You can follow me. Wink, wink. And number two, when you're on Instagram, it takes like all of 5 seconds to upgrade your Instagram personal account to a business account. I'll tell you why I did that. Because then I could connect it not to my Facebook personal page, which you can do, but I was able to connect it to my Facebook fan page. So that's facebook.com/SisterSense. That's the fan page for the SisterSense business brand, right? So that's one of the things I love about it. And also I connected it to my SisterSense Twitter account. So essentially, when I posted that graphic, one of the first cool things that happened was simultaneously the graphic was on Instagram, but I just needed to click Facebook and Twitter as well, and then it posted on my Facebook fan page as well as my Twitter account. So making sure that if you are using a platform like Instagram, upgrade to business and make sure you connect your Facebook fan page and your Twitter account as well so you can share on that platform. That's social media tip number 1 specific to Instagram. Number 2 tip is I found that listen, I don't have a large Instagram following, okay, full disclosure, but hey, at the end of the day, I'm about reaching the right people, not everybody, but the right bodies, right? As I say. One of the things that I learned as far as effectively marketing yourself to new people on Instagram is using hashtags, right? So hashtags are these awesome keywords that you can use that really connect to the type of people that you're trying to reach. So some of my hashtags are hashtag grow your business, hashtag boss babe, hashtag infopreneur, hashtag small biz. I've got a ton of them. But here's the deal. When you're trying to maximize your magic in the morning, you're not trying to take time to do all this stuff and spend like hours doing so much of this social media stuff that you don't get to the real stuff, the meat and potatoes, the stuff that you're supposed to be doing to make money, right? So what I did was I took my hashtags, and I think that right now you can have a maximum of 30 hashtags per post. I took the ones that I created and I put them in a note document on my phone. I have an iPhone, so there's the notes document, you know what I'm talking about? And I just put them all in there so that what I can do is when I write a post, get my hashtags, copy and paste them right in. If you are a person who uses hashtags and you find yourself struggling because you're like spending 5 minutes trying to type them all in there, this is for me one of the easiest things to do. So sometimes I might change them, but for the most part, I use the same ones all the time. And I never have to sit there and type them all in. I just get my hashtags from a notepad, copy and paste them. Bam, I'm done. Number 3 tip for number 2 solution, right? Because number 2 solution is go on a social media platform, share your message, communicate with your larger audience to attract them plus new people, right? In addition to being able to simultaneously put it on Instagram and then have the Instagram app share that content on Twitter and Facebook, I quickly copy and paste my hashtags from my notes. And number 3 tip is don't just post quotes, okay? Don't be that girl. Quotes are great. Brand content is better. So think about something that immediately after you posting that quote, you can post about your business, what's going on with you, that is brand and business specific, okay? Sometimes I look at people's social media platforms and we're in a clarity call and they're like, LaShanda, help me. I'm trying to do this Twitter thing, this Facebook thing, and it's not helping me. And I'll look at their stuff and I'm like, well, all you got here is quotes. All you got here is most motivational messages. All you got here is posts from other people that you're sharing. So I see that this person is posting a lot of good stuff, but that really isn't a reflection of you, right? Yeah, you can mix in other people's stuff or motivational quotes or what have you, but the vast majority of what I see on your social media platform should be a reflection of who you are and what your business stands for, right? So that brings me to number 3. Number 3 for me is how can you make the most of things that you've already created? Now, I am a video girl. I know I'm doing audio right now, but I love to create YouTube videos and live stream videos and all that other stuff. But sometimes, honestly, that stuff can be a little bit time consuming. Maximizing your magic in the morning is about things that you can quickly get done and things that you can knock out so you can feel good. Now, I've got a ton of videos on YouTube, so I said, you know what? I'm going to take one of these awesome videos and trim it down, then share that. Because right now, micro videos where it's at. As you can tell by this audio, plus if you've watched a video from me ever, my videos tend to be 30 minutes to 90 minutes long because I've got a lot to teach and a lot to say. And ladies love the sound of my voice. What can I say? But in all seriousness, as I'm sure you know, watching videos across various social media platforms, micro videos are really awesome. 60 seconds to 3 to 5 minute long videos. People just kind of consume them quickly, get what they can, and then go on with their day. So one of the things that I have been doing is making the most of what I've created, going back to some of those old videos, clipping them down to something shorter, and then sharing that message with my audience. One, so that I am consistently sharing and I'm putting content out there even when I'm not creating new content. I'm making the most of the content that I've created. And I'm also using that as an opportunity to promote offers that are built on those pieces of content. Okay. So I decided that I was going to share a 3-minute clip, 3 minutes inside my 3-step marketing plan. And basically, I took a video that I created that was 38 minutes, clipped it down to 3 minutes. I uploaded that video onto Facebook. I also clipped that 3 minutes down to 3 60-second videos. And I shared those videos on Instagram, because Instagram, at most, you can share videos that are 60-second long, but you can put up to 10 pieces of content, 10 videos or 10 photos in one post. So I basically cut them into 1-minute videos and then put them back to back in one post, so I can make that magic happen on that platform. Okay. Now, here are a few things that I want to share with you with respect to that. Number one, do you have content that you've created and that you can take? Right now, we're talking about video content that you've created, right? That you can go back and clip and then share. One of the things that I love doing, especially in my mastermind, I have a mastermind group, the Firestarter Circle, is I teach my ladies, I do webinars, and a lot of times I show them how to go in different platforms or use different tools to clip their videos, right? And to trim the videos to make them shorter so they can repurpose that content. It's just a smart thing to do. By the way, watch that video, the 3-step marketing plan. It's awesome. Okay. But it's just a smart thing to do so that you can have these micro videos and basically repurpose what you've created, right? Because right now I can't do a live stream. I don't have the time to do that stuff, but I've got all this great content from the before. Now, here's a segue to that. I mentioned this to one of my clients and she kind of cringed. She cringed, not because of technology, because I can actually show you a way to trim and cut your YouTube videos on the fly, and it's super easy. So it's not hard to do this, by the way. She cringed because she said to me, you know what, LaShanda, I go back to some of my videos and I'm like, I don't know. It wasn't that great. I didn't like it. Maybe I should do this one over. And I'm like, come on. Come on. Embrace your awesomeness. Come on, sister girls. We are way too critical of ourselves. I was on a clarity call yesterday with one of my clients, and she said to me, LaShanda, I did the best thing ever. I went back and I had calls with some of my previous clients, and man, they told me how much they got out of what I taught them. They told me how they're applying the things that I taught them. And I'm going to be honest with you, I was in awe. I never thought that what they were telling me was the case. I mean, I thought it was okay, but I didn't really realize that it was that good, that they got that much. And this is a client that, number one, I'm always saying, listen, if you're trying to reach new people, go back and sell to the people that have bought from you, because they're the easiest people to sell to. They value you. Number one, Number two, you're too critical of you. Yeah, I know that when we create something, it probably in hindsight could have been 10 times better, but so what? What it is what it is. And guess what? If somebody's multiple people purchased it, there was something about it that was valuable. Go back and embrace that. Stop looking at it with super critical eyes to the point where you're like, I'm never going to share that again. Because I'm going to tell you, a good percentage of the money that I make is repurposing the content that I've already created. And baby, let me tell you something. I remember my ex in college. I always used to be like, ooh, I like them jeans. Them jeans look good on you. And I'm like, are those new? And he would say to me, new to you? And, I would love it. It's new to you, but I had these for the longest, right? And sometimes you look at your content with super critical eyes because you've seen it before, you've heard it before. You're like, oh, how many times am I going to say the same thing? Baby girl, when you are an expert at what you do, you are supposed to say that thing in different ways. You are supposed to say that same content, that what you call it old content. You're supposed to share that best old content with new people. And you're supposed to perfect and master certain things. Being a Jackie of all trades is not what makes you amazing. What makes you amazing is when you can naturally, masterfully perfect certain specific contents and then teach that content consistently. Because sometimes we get it twisted. Oh, I said that 3 times. I can't say it again. Girl, if you said it 3 times and 3 people watched it, what does that mean? Maybe there are 3 million more that need that message. So I want you to, and it's not an easy thing to do. It's not an easy thing to do. One of my superpowers is I love to look back at my stuff and be like, ooh, this was good. Ooh, this was nice. I like this. I love my stuff, right? I was going to say another word, but I'm going to try to keep it clean today. I like the stuff that I create. Maybe that's not your superpower. Maybe your kryptonite is looking back and cringing and being a little bit too self-critical. Maybe you self-censor yourself to the point that even though you did create content, you never want to share that content again. We need to change that programming. We need to flip that script so that you can repurpose the best that you have to offer. Okay. Number 3, what content, specifically video content? Maybe it's audio content. Maybe it's articles. Maybe it's a book. What do you have that you can break up into smaller pieces and share with the world, right? Give them a piece right now. Just be like, good, right? Give them a piece right now that can get them excited about what you have to offer. Now, let me say this about the 3-minute marketing video. That video is actually 38 minutes long, and I clipped it down to 3 minutes. That video is one of 30 videos inside of my Maintain Your Momentum series, which is chock full of, similar to what I'm doing right now with you. It's chock full of videos that are all about how you can maintain your momentum as an entrepreneur. Smart things that you can do. People watch my videos. They get excited. They get delighted. They get focused and fire so they can move forward in their day. I actually got an email from one of my clients who said, listen, I found you through one of your videos and you were doing like a 28-day challenge. I did every single day. I absolutely loved it. And creating these videos, that's my superpower. Unfortunately, right now, my kryptonite or I don't think it's my kryptonite, but unfortunately right now I cannot embrace my live stream superpower because I've got so many other things happening in the back end. But I've got all these great videos that maybe are old to me but new to you. So I created that little 3 minutes so I could share that, right? Some people need to see it again. Some people need to see it for the first time. And I said, listen, by the way, if you go to sistersense.com/momentum, you can go and sign up to get access to all those 30 videos. And I think they're on sale right now. Don't quote me, but I think they are. sistersense.com/momentum. Remember, all the resources that I share with you here, don't feel like, oh, shoot, what did she say? I got to write that down. All you need to write down is sistersense.com/morning magic. Go there, get that free power PDF because all the resources that I mentioned with you, or rather to you today, inside that. So here's the deal. It started off as, let me just post that Instagram of darling, you are fabulous. But hey, remember, you should always have something to say. Okay, so I have this acronym, right? Always have something to say, always have something to share, always have something to sell. That's how I strategically and consistently make money online. So just putting up that quote, yeah, that's cute, that's quick. That's easy, but I want to put up a brand offer. I want to put up something that shows who I am, what I do, where my superpower lies, and how you can stay connected with me if you want to be a part of my cosmic cool collection. One of my clients, she said to me, girl, you're like one of the cosmic cool kids, and I just kind of love being with you and around you. I remember I hosted a workshop here in North Carolina, and one of my clients said, girl, I don't even care what you're teaching. I just want to be there so I could play in your background, play in your backyard for a couple of days and just be around you. So if that energy is something that you like, that, Maintain Your Momentum series is fabulous because you just get to dig in, binge watch, absorb, learn from, and utilize a lot of the strategies that I'm teaching, not just in this audio, but in that particular series. So I want you to think about that for yourself. Yes, you can share just a piece of maybe something that you created, an article, an audio, or a video, but deeper than that, if you are sharing these things, think about why you're sharing them. Are they connected to a particular offer that might be of interest to somebody who wants to buy that offer, right? So I always say when you're putting free stuff out there, lead magnets, freemiums, all that good stuff, think about what actual paid offers you can connect your free offers to. So you're sharing, but with intention. And the intention is to turn those browsers into actual buyers. Okay. So number two, what content can you put into a piece, and how can you share those fabulous pieces out there? And again, if they are free pieces, obviously it's content that you're sharing across social media platforms. How can you get those pieces to bring in some profit, right? By strategically connecting them to offers. So here's number 4 for you. While I was uploading my 3-step marketing plan video on Facebook, now notice I said I did Instagram, and then Instagram I was able to strategically get my content synced and shared across Twitter and Facebook. Again, a big part of morning magic is how can I get this stuff done? How can I get it done quickly? And syncing and connecting your social media platforms so you can get the content across different ones. It's just a smart thing to do. While I was on Facebook though, I realized that a day or two ago, I shared a new offer, and that new offer was a free guide. It's a 5-page guide. It's called Where Do I Start? 7 Modes to Building a Successful Online Business. And you may be like, ooh, free? I want that. Where do I start? Ooh, girl, I'm struggling with that. I want that. So that e-guide is at sistersense.com/SHH. Start Here Help. That's what SHH stands for. Start Here Help. So I shared that, and I was like, you know what? I want to make sure that if people are going to my Facebook page, that free offer is one of the first things that they see. So I took that free offer and I pinned it to the top of my page. You can pin post to the top of your page, or you can pin a post to the top of your group, so it's the first thing that people see. For me, when it comes to Facebook pages and groups, one of the smartest pins are pins that go to an opt-in offer, so that organically, while you're doing other things, people can click it and go and sign up to something and sign up to a list, right? So if you go there and you see it pinned, if I do have a post that's pinned to the top of my group or my fan page, normally it's something that people have to opt in to get. Okay. And how you pin is really super easy. I don't know if you noticed when you're looking at a post you created, that top right hand corner, you should see like 3 dots. You can click that dot, or those dots rather, and then select the option to pin to post. In a group, I think the term is slightly different. It's like maybe feature. I don't want to tell you the wrong thing, but I'm not looking at my group right now, but it might say something slightly different. But the idea is there a post that you want to feature or highlight and make note of? And you can do that and put it at the top, right? Now, when I posted my new guide, my free guide, I just gave people the link to the PDF. Now, raise your hand. I can't see it, but raise your hand if you put free stuff out there and you just give people the PDF. Oh, folks were asking me about my template or my worksheet, and I was like, okay, fine, you can have it, and I just put it up there. Have you ever done that? Shame on you. Okay, no, let me not be that person. But here's the truth. The truth of the matter is that you want to maximize your presence online, and you want to get people off of social media and onto your list and over to your website, right? So I'm going to be honest with you, because I wanted to quickly put it up there. I was like, okay, go to SHH, and then they got the PDF. So when I looked, I think by that point, 60 people had went to the PDF, and those are 60 new people who could have been on my list. And I was like, doy, like, that Homer Simpson Bart thing when you hit your hand on your head, like, oh, you're an idiot. And okay, see, that's being self-critical again, right? Oh, get that kryptonite out of my head. You're awesome. One of my clients, Lynette, she is a light worker. She's so amazing. She says when she says something negative, she goes, no, 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 cancel, clear, delete. So I'm going to do that right now. Delete, delete, delete. Don't say the word idiot. You're amazing. You're awesome. You're beautiful. You're perfect. You are a superwoman, right? You're super fabulous. Darling, what was the message that I embraced this morning? Darling, you are fabulous. Okay, cancel, kill, delete that one. Let's put in and repeat this one. Darling, you are fabulous. Say it with me now. Darling, you are fabulous. Embrace it. Take it all in and make it fuel your fire. Make it take you to where you want to be today. Okay, now back to what I was saying. I realized that I lost a few people who could have potentially opted into my list. So I quickly course corrected and I turned it into an opt-in form. So I went into the email platform that I use. I use different ones, but I went into one of my favorites. And then I made an email sign up. So once you sign up, then you get that PDF absolutely free. That means that I am strategically making sure that if I'm going to share my good with the world, I am going to build valuable relationships with the people who opt into my list, because again, you want to make sure that you're strategic, you're intentional, and you're converting those browsers into buyers. It's great to have 5, 10, 15, 20, 35, 40, 45, 50. Okay, wait, now I'm going into multiplication mode versus marketing mode. It's great to have thousands of people follow you across social media platforms, but none of that is worth a can of beans if you can't convert those followers into actual customers, right? So make sure that if you are just kind of putting your stuff out there, that you snap and back into being strategic. And yes, sometimes it might take a minute or two to put those little sign up forms together. I think it took me about 10, 15 minutes to do that. But guess what? It makes a difference. And, you know, if you could devote 30 to 60 minutes in the morning to just doing some smart things for your business, why not? Right? You know, what a difference a good day can make. So I pinned that post to the top. And again, note to self, note to you, if you are going to pin post to the top, you should have some form of a, sign up offer that you can share. Now, listen here. Let me give you a listen. Now, this I wasn't even going to tell you, but I'm going to give you some good right here. And imagine what you can get for me when you're opting into my masterminds or my clarity calls or all that good stuff if you're getting this for free, right? Okay, so real talk. Facebook, you can do Facebook ads and you can boost posts. Now, I'm not an expert by any means doing any of those things. But one of the things that I like to do is boost a post, even for like $1 or $2. And I'll tell you why. Because when you boost a post, you can put a little button in there that says learn more or shop now or, sign up here. And that little button, you can put a link in there, which is so cool because it's a very easy on the eyes, easy to see call to action. So one of the things that I like to do, again, is just for a couple of bucks, boost the posts. Don't really care so much about the boosting, but the fact that I can put that little button in there, especially for like something like an opt-in offer, like download here. And that's pretty cool. So I might just go back and boost that post that I pinned, because I haven't done that yet. Note to self, boost post. But that's something that I've done in the past. And I like to do that. And I'm glad that I could share that with you now. So I mentioned to you number 4, making the most of your posts, pinning what you need to pin to the top and feature that there. Kind of like on your website, when they call the first thing that people see when they go to your website above the fold. So you want to take a look at your website, and the first things that people see are those things the best representation of you right now? Are those things a reflection of the things that you want to teach, sell, focus on, feature, promote, what have you right now? If you go to sistersense.com, you'll see my Maximize Your Money Magic free ebook. That is what I want you to see and take advantage of. So that is at the forefront. So being conscious of what you want people to see on your Facebook platform, not just even on Facebook, number 4, but on your website, that's essential too. Okay. And making sure that those spaces are a reflection of your best good, your newest new is important, because sometimes we can have our stuff there, but it's dated and not really a reflection of what we want it to say and what we want it to be right now. Number 5. Okay, so after I went on a serious magical tangent, right? It was like me, my superpower, I jumped on my unicorn and we flew across social media. We flew across social media for minutes upon minutes. I got back into my inbox, number 5, so that I could answer questions, right? And the question, like I said, there were 2 questions that quite a few people were asking that I need to answer. Number 1, responding back to my request on letting me know how you found me. And then number 2, people have been like, listen, I don't know what it is in the air or in the water, but everybody needs me to build a website for them right now. So I've been following up with those questions and taking clarity calls on that as well. Now, here's the deal. If you have a solid service, I am a web designer. My web services are at webdesign.sissense.com. If you have a solid service, you are going to get a lot of questions about what it is that you do, right? And not even just a service professional. I was talking to one of my clients yesterday, and she has her own beauty, health and wellness subscription box series, and she gets a lot of questions too, some of which she deflects. And when we were able to sit down and reflect on some of the questions she has been like getting but avoiding, we were able to see, number 1, how she could streamline her productivity. Some of those questions you need to be able to just kind of sit down and create a standard answer for, so you can just cut and paste without always feeling like you got to answer the same question 1,000 times. But also some of those questions we figured out how to turn into new money, which is always fun, right? And she was like, man, I never thought of it that way before. I could actually sell that. I could share that for money to get paid. I was like, girl. So that was a fun call. But here's the thing about questions. If you go to webdesign.sissense.com, you'll see that there are 3 ways in particular I like to ensure that if people have questions, they can get answers. Number 1, I have an FAQ. I have an FAQ list. I have an FAQ audio so people can listen. I love to do audio, if you can't already tell by listening to me, right? I embrace that superpower in me. As people tend to say to me, I love to hear the sound of your voice. And if people don't like to hear the sound of my voice, they can kick rocks and keep it moving. Again, I'm not here for everybody. I'm here for the right bodies, as I love to say, all day, every day. This is how you slay. Now, that being said, number 1, I've got the audio FAQ. Number 2, there people can send me emails. Number 3, there is the little button on the right side of the page so people can send me voice messages. Now, of course, number 4, people can also schedule clarity calls with me so that between 15 to 30 minutes we can talk. I can answer their questions and help them get clear about the whole process. Sometimes people need to know how it is working with me, what my different packages are. They need to figure out which one to choose. I was talking to a potential client yesterday, and her question was, what content do I need? Like, I have a book. That's all I know. I don't know. I know I need a website, but I don't know what I'm supposed to be putting on this website. So that is something that we talked about today. Now, again, if you are a service professional, number 5 for me when it comes to slaying the day is take a look at your service page and think about, are you answering questions on that page, and what ways are you giving people to communicate with you, whether it be through email, through a phone number, through clarity calls. Yesterday, one of my clients, she said to me, LaShanda, do you have a business number? What do you use? How do you get that done? So I kind of broke down that whole process of setting up a business number and forwarding. She was like, I know you don't use your cell phone. And I was like, ooh, girl, no. So forwarding and conferencing and business numbers, we went through all of that yesterday. So you need to be in a space where you, as a service professional, you look at your page, number 5, take 20, 30 minutes to look at your service pages. Are you answering people's questions? Do you even know what questions they may have based on the services that you're trying to provide? Do you have an FAQ? Is there a way for them to email you? Is there a way for them to book a call with you? Again, I love to be able to give people the opportunity to on the fly send me a voice message. I'm always amazed at, who is messaging me and where they are across the globe. It's pretty cool. But all of those things are solid things to have. Okay. So again, that brought me back to my inbox, but being in that inbox, it just kind of had me thinking about the fact that it is really important to be able to give people an opportunity to communicate and engage with you, because that's how I'm getting all of these messages. People are sending me voice messages and emails going, LaShanda, listen, I need you to build me a website. Please, baby, please. How can we make that happen? And as an entrepreneur, I've got to tell you that this blessing is truly a blessing, because I don't necessarily have to go out and hardcore market. I don't pay for Facebook ads. I don't pay for advertising at all. Knock on carpet, because I can't knock on wood at the moment. But I'm not necessarily in a space where I have to hardcore market myself as a web designer, because I've created all of these strategies that work for me to generate interest. And so there's always people in my inbox. Right now, I'm actually teaching client attraction. That is the topic inside of my mastermind. If you're not in my mastermind, it's the Firestarter Circle. We're talking about client attraction, how to reach real people, real ways to do just that. And honestly, the strategies that I use allow me to kind of sit back and have an inbox full of requests and consistently make money, which for me is truly a blessing. So 5, for my service professionals, take a look at what you are doing right now on your pages. Are you giving people an opportunity to communicate with you in one way, shape, or form? And are you sharing enough information, answering the kind of questions that they have? Because here's the deal. I was on a clarity call. Again, I had like 6 of them yesterday, so I had a lot of clarity calls. One of my clients, she was talking about an offer, and she's like, LaShanda, these are all the features. These are all the prices. She's like, this is amazing, but unfortunately they didn't buy. Excuse me. And I said to her, well, here's the deal. I've been loving the features, but what you need to sell is not the features, but the results. People want to know, what is the result that you are going to give me? For example, one of the things that people love about my web design services is that I build pretty websites. My web services is called Pretty Professional Websites. And oftentimes they'll say, I just love it. It's so clean. And it's just so clean. It's like, that's one of the words that people use a lot. It's just so clean and professional looking. And I just love that. I love the white, I love the colors. I love the bright and the pop and the clean. They love to say clean. But they know that looking at examples of what I've done for others, that's the kind of result that they're going to get. So they seek me out and want to work with me for just that. Whatever it is that you're trying to sell, whether it be a physical, digital product or service, I get it. You want to give them the results. This is how many modules. This is how many features. This is how long you're going to talk to me. This is how much stuff you're going to get. You want to sell the features. And I get it. You want to sell the price. It is deep discount, dirt cheap. But guess what? I'm sure in your experience, that sometimes even if it's $1, they ain't hollering, right? It's $1 and they still don't want to holler. Sometimes it's free and they still saying it's not for me. What you need, right? You peep my poetic license. What you need to be able to do is also to be able to give people a good look at the results. What are you going to get out of this? Right? What are you going to get out of this? Which is why being in a space where you share very clearly that kind of information on your space and you answer those kind of questions, it's important. It's so important on your space. Price, yes, I know price is nice and you're always trying to pluck out every hair you got on your head, trying to figure out the right price. But sometimes even the lowest of the lowest price is not going to get anybody to buy. And I'm going to be honest with you, my on average, I just closed a client for a web package. It was $3,000. And within that week, I also closed another package, and that was $1,000 package. There was a time that I was afraid to charge more than $100 for a website. And I'm able to bring in $4,000 or $5,000 in a matter of 1 or 2 or 3 projects. Here's the deal with that. Again, it's not the price is right. It's this is the result that I want. This is the person that I want to work with. Okay. I get the features, but this is the person I want to work with because this is the results. So making sure you're answering those questions. Number 5, I cannot express that enough. Number 6, when you are having real conversations with real people, you will really get a good sense of what it is they want and what it is you need to do to make the most of what you're trying to create. Here's a great example of that. One of my first clarity calls was with one of my international clients yesterday at the crack of dawn for me. That was my first early morning. I think we were on the line at like 8:30 yesterday morning. We usually do 9 a.m., but yesterday I was crazy. I had back-to-back calls. I was like, girl, you need to get on at 8:30. But I think at her time in London, it was maybe like the afternoon, so it was good for her. Okay for me, because I wake up at like 6 something anyway, but my bladder wakes up at 4 o'clock every morning. I don't know why, but then my bladder and I, we go back to sleep and then wake up for 6. So that's a whole other story. But point being, we were talking about her current mastermind that she's put together and some of the things that she learned. And she was talking about, I realized, LaShanda, this mastermind, the topic I chose that topic because that's something that's very emotional for me. That's something that's really passionate for me right now. And where I am, I just felt like that's what I wanted to teach. And I realized that, wow, I'm working with people who maybe they're not where I am because I'm 4, 5, 6, 7 years into this. They needed something that was like boom, 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 12 steps behind what I'm talking about today. That was a huge learning lesson for me. And she said, I thank you for giving me a space to be able to learn these lessons and work with you because this is some stuff that I needed to work with. She said, what do you say all the time? You got to win or what? Win or play? I said, it's never win or lose. It's always win or learn. Right. So, what's fabulous is that she has clients. She's got people who is in the mastermind right now. And for her, it's a win. But the big win was I wanted more clients. I wanted like a certain number of people and I didn't get that number. But so it's like, but the learn of it is, right, I'm learning how to put this together. I'm learning how to host these live sessions. I'm learning what my clients want because they're emailing me. She did her first Facebook Live and I'm like, yeah. They're on her live sessions. They're like, listen, I need help with this. And that clarity, whoo, that's a big win because that's going to help her make the next thing even better, right? Make the next thing even better. Now, I share that because for me, the thing that I worked on this morning was one of the potential web clients who inboxed me and said, you know what, I really want to work with you. I've been following you for a while. We actually had a clarity call a few years ago, but things happened and I'm ready to build my website. I tried to schedule a clarity call with you, but it said no more spaces available. And I'm going to be honest with you. A few people have gone to the page, callme.sistersense.com, and they're like, man, you are super busy. I can't get in. There's no more space. And I didn't change it because I'm super busy. And I've got a lot of people I'm working with, but it's in the back of my head. Her email really motivated me this morning to update the page and open it so now new clients can schedule clarity calls with me. That's for me, number 6, updates. Think about for yourself whether you know that there's something that needs to be updated, because let's just be honest with you. When it's closed, people are not coming in. And when it's closed, that's leaving money on the table. Again, granted, I got a lot on my table already, but I feel like I am in a position to take on some new clarity calls. So I updated that, callme.sistersense.com, so it's now open. And that's something that I want you to think about as well. Again, number 1, do you know of things within what you are working on that need to be updated? All I needed to do was just go in there and change the, numbers so that it's no longer, closed, all sold out, and then reopen it again. Again, the morning, maximizing your morning magic. What are some things that you can quickly do and feel accomplished in the morning, right? Now, what's great is that this conversation with this client kind of reminded me, oh yeah, I need to go and update that. I know I said I was going to do it and I didn't do it. Let's make it happen. I said in the very beginning, number 1, knockout list real conversations with real people, so many amazing things happen because of those real conversations. Being conscious of what you need to tweak and change is one of them. So for my client, in her case, realizing this is what she wanted to talk about versus this is what her people, her tribe, her community are desperately asking for, that's a big thing. Right. And then another client that I talked to that day, realizing when she went and talked to her people and said, hey, I know you participating in my coaching and my courses. What did you get out of it? In those conversations, they told her what they got, what they needed, what was missing. And based on that information, she is making her next experience even better. You can't do this blind. You can't just sit back and do 15 courses and read 15 blogs and 15 books and think that you just kind of sitting there and trying to make it perfect before you launch is what's going to make it perfect when you launch. For me, I always talk about phasing in your greatness, number one, and why am I tongue-tied? Number one, phasing in your greatness. And number two, perfecting the process as you grow. So even though you may go back and look at some of those videos or look at some of that content and cringe, baby girl, it was good for what it was. And it probably is still good as ever right now. But maybe you're not seeing it because you're not in that space anymore. But there's somebody who needs that and has a place for it, which is why you still keep it. Okay? That's number one. Number two, you're not going to learn by sitting back and watching other people do what you want to do. You got to put your foot in, right? You got to put some skin in the game. And in doing that, you're going to get better at it. That's how I've gotten better at it over the last 2 decades. You know, this shy entrepreneur who was a typer, not a talker, I make all this money talking to people like I'm talking to you right now. And I'm going to tell you, when I started talking was the last thing I wanted to do. I was like, listen, I'm going to type my ass off. Oops, see, listen, doggone it. This was supposed to be a 100% clean audio. But for real, I knew that I needed to be in video. I needed to do audio. I was pushed and persuaded to get on phones and talk to people because I was deathly afraid of getting on the phone and talk to people. I'm not qualified to do that. Remember I said that? This person who didn't feel qualified to charge more than $100, who didn't feel qualified to get on the phone and talk to people, who didn't feel worthy to get in front of a camera because I didn't like the way I looked, right? Who didn't like the way, I'm the girl who, why your voice is that deep? I'm the girl who people call me, like my family knows that I'm not a morning person, right? So one of my triggers, one of my Achilles heels, or however you want to put it, is when folks call me and, ooh, girl, you just woke up. I'm sorry I woke you up. And I'm like, damn it. Okay, see? Where is the ratings patrol? This was supposed to be a clean audio. But just in all honesty, I'm one of those people who I was like, listen, it's 7:00. I wake up at 5:00. I wake up at 6:00 in the morning. I'm no longer that girl that sleeps until noon. Okay. I know I used to do that when I was 12. It's not that person anymore. You know, when people have you in a box, it can trigger you. Oh, you lazy. Oh, you like to sleep a lot. Oh, you don't get up in the morning. I get it. No, right. It does trigger me. But some of that is just because I have a deep, raspy voice. So maybe I do sound like I just woke up, but girl, I've been up for 4 hours. I have to embrace it. I remember freshman year of college, I went to Columbia University in New York. Whoop, whoop, Brooklyn girl. My Spanish teacher, we were doing a class one day and I had to say some things in Spanish, and somehow the topic turned into LaShanda's deep, raspy voice. And oh no, it's sensual and it's sexy and people like the deep voice. And, you know, some people see it as a bad thing or a good thing. And then, of course, you know, just you being you, it's a trigger thing, whatever it triggers in you for your past. All of those things to say, I embrace my voice today. Some people say, you know, I love listening to you. I can listen to you all the time. You know, sometimes it does trigger me when an aunt or, you know, oh, you sleeping, girl? I need to call you back. You tired? I'm like, I'm not that girl anymore. I'm a get up in the morning, whether I like it or not kind of a girl. I don't need hot chocolate. I'm not a baby, you know, like take me seriously. See me as an adult. Oh God, my inner child is coming out right now. But I need her to come out because sometimes maybe you look at my superpower and think that I've always been super powerful, and I'm sorry, no. I was on a clarity call with one of my clients once, and she was like, I hate my voice. I hate it. I hate it. I love your voice. I wish I had your voice. And I was like, you better embrace what you got and love what God gave you, because listen, embracing all of me, flaws and all, as one of my clients, Kim Cole, says, embracing my flawsome is what keeps me paid and slayed every day, all day. And it is something that I've prayed for. It is something that I stay committed to, because at the end of the day, when you embrace your gift, your God-given gift, there's no other way. There's no better way to live. And this is the only way I choose to live. So that's not what I wanted to say. I wanted to say, number 6, you better go update your updates. That's what I wanted to tell you. You better go update your stuff, number 6, and whatever you can knock out and update in the morning, great. If you continue to have real conversations with real people, they will give you a heads up as to what's not working and what needs to be updated, which is fabulous, which is one of the reasons why I want you to stay consistent, not just being smart about putting information out there, but being smart about asking the right questions. And, in doing so, getting people excited about talking to you. Like I said, if there's a story in you that you remember how you found me, don't forget, go to sistersense@gmail.com. Email me that story and I will share something right back with you, because I want to know. I want to know how we got connected, how you found me, what you watched, what you saw, who you were referred by, all that good stuff. So number 7 on this list, the final thing that I will share today is your plans versus your presence. What to do when you don't know what to do. That's a deep statement, right? The plans that you want to put in action versus the presence, you having your visibility online, one versus the other. What should you be doing when you don't know what to do, when you feel like your focus is funky, when you feel like you're all over the place, you don't know where to start, when you feel like you are 12 steps behind everybody and everybody online doing the live stream thing, doing the email thing, sending out funnels and making magic happen, and you sitting like boo-boo, you feeling like you sitting like boo-boo the fool. I don't know where I heard that statement from back in the day, but you sitting like you got that funky face, like, man, I feel not quite as awesome as I should be. I don't feel like I'm that super fabulous person because everybody's doing this stuff. I should be doing this too. But what should I do first? I share that because that's the kind of energy that some of the ladies have in my circle. And one of the ladies on my clarity calls experience yesterday, we were talking about that. She said, some of this is your fault. She said, some of this is your fault because every time I turn, you putting out something new. And I'm like, damn it. This is so good. I have to get it. And every time you put out something new, I'm like, I have to get it. And I need to focus. I need to help me focus. And here's the thing, for people trying to figure out what to do and where to start, that's a deep question in my heart, which is why I shared my 7 modes to building a successful online business. It's a free guide, 5 pages, short read plus audio, sistersense.com/SH help for Start Here Help. And here's the deal. I'm going to tell you in a nutshell. I believe that for me, and this is my truth, but I believe this is true of most entrepreneurs. At any given time, I'm doing one of 7 things. I am in idea mode. Once I'm after idea mode, creation mode. After creation mode, I am in launch mode. After launch mode, I'm in marketing mode. After marketing mode, I'm in client mode. After client mode, I am in break mode. After break mode, I am in revamp mode. And then I do it all over again and go back to idea mode, creation mode, launch mode. You got it, right? And it starts with the idea mode, and it's a cycle that I just embrace, right? And where you are, when people ask me the question, where should I start? I'm like, start where you are. Start where you are. What mode are you in right now? Are you in idea mode? Are you trying to work on an idea? Are you in marketing mode? Are you trying to market something right now? Are you in client mode? Are you focused on the people that you're trying to work with so you can retain them, so you can build relationships, so you can convert browsers to buyers? Where are you? Don't ask me where you should start. Start where you actually are in this space, embrace the space you're in, do what you can with what you have where you are at. I talk about that more in that guide, 7 modes to building a successful online business. But I talked about that with one particular client yesterday. And one of the things that she said that really made me feel compelled to want to share this message with you was, okay, she said, okay, I want to put this stuff out there. And the stuff that she wanted to put out there was more so like lead magnet, kind of like promotional stuff kind of stuff. And I was like, this is cool, but you don't just want to create lead magnets for the sake of creating them. You want to have an offer first. It's not the chicken before the egg, which one comes first. The offer should come before any lead magnet. So let's talk about what you want to sell and who you want to sell it to first. That's where you start. Idea mode. What, who? You'll see that when I talk about idea mode inside of that guide, I focus on the 5 W's and 1 H. Who, what, when, where, why, and how. Okay? I break that down a little bit more in the guide, but that's the point. It's not, and so she's like, okay, Pinterest, infographic, Instagram, social media videos, right? Because that's what she's getting. And you're getting that from the quote unquote gurus and the coaches and everybody else. And granted, there's a space and a place for marketing, but you ain't ready to market if you don't know who you want to market to. You ain't ready to market if you don't have something worth marketing. So she was like, wait, wait. Again, that impulse to want to out of the gate start building your presence, I get it. But let me tell you something, real talk. As I'm creating this audio for you, I don't know what day it is of the year so far. Day number what? 97, 57, 107. I don't know. Whatever day it is so far into this year, guess what? I have not done one live stream with my face in front of somebody's camera. And I know the power of video, which is why I repurpose the videos I already created. I know the power of live, which is why I love to do it. But I also know that there are other smart ways to engage my audience, like the audio that I'm creating for you, hint, hint, like the emails that I send out, hint, hint, like the emails that I respond to and the questions that I ask to engage people, hint, hint. Again, I am doing client attraction right now. So I've got client attraction strategies on the brain as I'm teaching that right now to my mastermind. But the point being, I said to her, like I'm saying to you right now, I don't jump on live stream just because that's what all the cool kids are doing. I'm cool without being a part of the cool kid gang. Let's just be clear. Listen, it ain't about being cocky. It's about being confident. And one of the things that we have to learn as entrepreneurs is how to embrace our superpowers and build our confidence one step at a time. It's taken me close to 20 years to get to this point, and I have still got a long way to go. I still have a long way to grow. But I'm doing it, and I'm embracing those spaces where I feel most confident so that I can get better at those spaces where I feel insecure. And I say that to say this, again, even though maybe externally there is a compulsive feeling to do everything and be everywhere and jump on social media and all these platforms because that's what you're seeing everybody else doing. That's what they're selling you and that's what they're telling you. So you feel like you've got to do that and you're behind because you're not doing that. There is so much power in building your presence, but there is nothing powerful about being present without strategy and intention. There's nothing powerful about that. So you ain't going to see me on nobody's Facebook Live or Periscope or YouTube or whatever. You're not going to see me live. You'll see my intentional stuff that I created in the past. Hell yeah, I'll show you that all day, every day. I'm emailing out videos like nobody's business. Hey, go watch this video. I created like 3 years ago, but guess what? It is awesome. Listen, for real. You ain't going to see me live until I have something clear and intentional and strategic and intentional to say to you with something that I'm connected to an offer that I've created. Because real talk, if you are not selling stuff, if you don't have offers, this ain't entrepreneurship. This is a hobby. I'm not a hobbyist. I'm a business owner. I'm in the business of changing lives and making money. The two of them are intertwined, like two beautiful legs. They are intertwined. I'm in the business of changing lives and making money. So I'm not just going to jump out there and, be in a space where I'm creating content just for the sake of doing it if it's not going to be strategically connected to a real offer. Okay. So I'm sharing that and I'm trying to make that really hit and resonate with you for a few reasons. Number one, if you feel like that's where you are right now and you're overwhelmed and you can't focus, I should be on this and this and this and this. That's not where it starts. Your presence doesn't start before the plan. Okay. And the plan starts with the idea, who you're trying to reach and what you're trying to give to them, right? Clarity around your target audience and what you want to share with them. That's where it all begins. So we had a great conversation, my client and I, about, the beginning stages of her plan. And I'm going to share this with you across the board. I've got tons and tons of e-courses and audios and challenges and all this great stuff that I've created on marketing strategies and sales. But across the board, regardless of where you are in your business, the best thing that you could start with when it comes to me is my Map Out Your Master Plan intensive. Inside of Map Out Your Master Plan, I talk about you getting clear about the plan that you want to put in place so that you can focus on 3 R's, your revenue, your reach, and your routine. I also talk about how you can put together, if you get the full, there's 2 parts of it. So you can just get the 4-hour intensive, or you can get the extended edition, which is everything. I give you the option of just getting the 4-hour or everything because I know everybody's not at the same budget. So I want you to get something at the very least at the budget that's right for you. But if you can get everything, the extended edition includes the success map, so that you can get clear about what you want to sell, who you want to sell it to, and how much you want it to cost, so that you can get even clearer about how much you want to make on a annual, monthly, quarterly, weekly, down to day-to-day basis. Okay. You want to make real money. You got to reach real people. You have to have real numbers in place and be very specific. Be very specific. Because at the end of the day, sometimes I talk to clients, and the ones who say that they are overwhelmed and they can't focus, the problem is it starts with too much general. Like, I know I want to reach this kind of person, and I'm either trying to make, 6 figures, or I'm not really trying to focus on the money right now. I'm just trying to make a little bit, or generalizations about how much they want to make or who they want to reach, or, I've got this kind of stuff, and I kind of know what I want to do, and I've been thinking about. The more specific and fine-tuned that you get with this process, the more laser focused you become. So there's nothing wrong with your focus or your ability to make decisions. You just got to really start to get more specific. Right? So mapping out your master plan is a really solid place to start. SisterSense.com/master plan. And being clear about that and creating a success map, which, by the way, once you create your success map, it's not just a one and done situation. You need to go back to it. So if you have created a success map based on my success map, go back to it, reconnect with your vision and your goals and your numbers, because sometimes life throws us off course and we forget what we're working towards, and we have to remind ourselves of that, which is what a solid plan helps you to do. Okay? So, number 1, overwhelm, focus. What do I do? The presence or the plan? The plan comes first. Number 1, the plan starts with who and what. I break it further down in the 7 modes, that free guide, the 7 modes to building a successful online business. I break it all the way down, like limbo style, inside the Mapping Out Your Master Plan. And for those of you who have a plan and who are in a space that you know what you want to create and who you want to sell it to, what I'm going to dive into in my upcoming mastermind is content creation. Oh my goodness, this is going to be fun with a capital F. Now, here's the deal about content. At the end of the day, I'm sure you know content is king. Content is king, consistency is queen. Put them together, they make a beautiful baby. Coin. Okay? And I know that if you are the entrepreneur that I believe you to be, you about collecting them coins, right? Living in your purpose, helping the people you wish to serve, and collecting them coins. So what I'm going to be working on this coming month is a content marketing challenge. So the ladies inside of my mastermind, we are going to dig in and dig deep with respect to content creation. Now, here's the deal. If you're in my mastermind, fabulous. If you're not, you want to make sure that you go to sistersense.com/CMC. That's going to give you the opportunity to get into the mastermind and try it out and see, if we're a good fit, so to speak. Also, eventually, when you go to CMC, I can't say that initially it'll be there, but eventually, once the actual mastermind is done, on that page, there'll be a link to just get that course itself. So if you just want the content marketing challenge, once I put it all together, you'll be able to just get that by itself. For right now, you can get into the mastermind. And I think, don't quote me on this, but something in my spirit is telling me to do a super freaking fabulous trial of the mastermind at 3 months for $67. Now, here's the deal. My mastermind, the Firestarter Circle, is $47 a month. And sometimes when the spirit takes me, I get excited and I say, listen, I'm going to give you 3 months access for $97, which means you'll get 2 months and then 1 free on me, right? That's awesome, as it is. 3 months at $97. Awesome sauce. But listen, I've got content creation on the brain, and I am super excited about the things that not only I'm creating for my business, but the things I'm going to be helping ladies in my circle create for their businesses. So I feel like I want to give you, for those of you who are new to me, and you want to come back into the circle, maybe you were in the circle before and you've been out of the game for a while, give you an opportunity to get in and get 3 months access in the circle for $67, which is, oh my God, I don't know. It's amazing. I know some masterminds of my, fellow teacher, mentor counterparts that are like $97 just for a month. So 67 or even 97 for 3 months, can't beat that with a bat, right? So I'm thinking that when you go to success.com/CMC for Content Marketing Challenge, I want to give you the opportunity to get into the mastermind at 67 for 3 months. Or I think I'm going to reactivate my Fire and Focus for Life, which is getting a lifetime pass at $297, which is ridiculously fabulous. Ladies loved that one. The lifetime pass at the very minimum is $497. Its true price is $997, but I haven't brought myself to bring it up that high because I still want ladies to get that lifetime at the best possible rate. So I think I'm going to roll back the $497 to $297 because there's nothing like the Firestarter Circle, and there's nothing like having a community of like-minded individuals invested in working on their businesses and helping you work on yours as we grow up, we glow up together. And I'm going to be honest with you, I am not a fly-by-night sister girl. One of my superpowers is that I've been doing it well. Who did that? Who sang that song? LL, I think it was LL Cool J. No, was it LL? Doing it well? Email me. Let me know who sang that song. But for real though, I've been doing this thing called entrepreneurship and building online for almost 2 decades. And for the last 10 years, I've been helping and mentoring and supporting other women entrepreneurs do that. So I'm not going anywhere, which means if you get a lifetime pass, girl, you a lifer. And we going to be business besties for a minute, for as long as I've got the mastermind online, and I've been doing this for a very long time. So $297 for life, that's a pretty gosh darn good deal. And if God gives me the spirit, the mission, and the motivation to do so, this 20 years I'll be able to double it and do it for another 20 years more beyond. So we'll see. I can't quite imagine me at 60. Girl, let's get on the live stream. We probably won't need live streams. We probably be able to put something in our eyeball and virtually project ourselves into some digital space where it feels like we're in a virtual conference room sitting amongst each other, right? In 20 years. Girl, I got some good cookies for you on my live stream. Okay, let me stop. It's time for me to go when I start making up voices. Okay, so point being, the plan comes before your presence. And if you can maximize your morning by working on your plan of who you want to reach and what you want to offer, that's a solid thing to do, so that you can work on creating that offer for yourself. And once you got that offer, then you can start to dive into the other modes of launching and marketing and reaching your clients, connecting with them, building those relationships, so on and so forth, as far as my 7-part 7-mode series explains in more detail. So like I said, if you need help with the master plan, I got you. If you want to learn more about the 7 modes to building a successful business, I've got you. If you want to dive into the content creation challenge with me, which is going to start off being a 30-day experience, and if the spirit takes me, we might just do content creation for the whole quarter, full 90 days, content creation like nobody's business. That just might be what we do. But here's the deal. That's an opportunity for you to really dig in deep and share your amazing with the world. So if you missed the last quarter of the mastermind, you missed out. We talked about building your 12-part newsletter. We talked about list building, and then we wrapped it up with client attraction, because what I want to help you do at the very least is to start off by figuring out what you want to say to your community, how you're going to get them strategically on your list when they come to your website, and how you're going to then attract people, because chicken before the egg. You don't just go on and start attracting people. Attract them to where? Attract them to where? You don't just say, go on my email list, and then you have nothing to say to them. Give them that conversation. Create that newsletter. That communication comes first. And once you got the list and the newsletter and the ongoing communication, then you want to do the client attraction. That was phase 1 that we talked about. If you missed it, if you come into the community, you just might be able to grab some of those replays before they go away. Client attraction is, again, what we're focused on now. But if they have gone away, no worries. I always have opportunities for you to get these individual masterminds on their own, because they are standalone offers. You just need to let me know what you need, what you're looking for, and I will help point you in the right direction. And of course, outside of the community building, client attraction, list building conversations that we had for this quarter, now we're going to dive into on this conversation of having a solid plan, creating your offers and creating content around your offers. So the content creation challenge is about to begin. And that is at sistersense.com/CMC for content marketing challenge. Again, I have shared a mouthful plus a handful of my resources with you. If you want to know or you want to easily click any of these resources, the best thing to do is go to sistersense.com/morning magic, so you can get this audio plus kind of like a cheat sheet knockout list of everything that we talked about today, with the easy access links to the resources that I've mentioned. And listen, here's the deal. I would love for you to email me, sistersense@gmail.com, or go to sistersense.com, click the gray tab, leave me a voice message, answer the question, what have you learned from this morning magic motivational session today? I would love to know what you learned from today. Or here's the deal. If you've got a great story about something that you've learned from me via some video or some course or some challenge that you took from me, that you implemented, you learned something great, or you applied it and you were able to see something happen that was totally awesomely successful for you, I would love to hear that story. Share that story with me. Again, you can email me. You can go to sistersense.com. You can click the gray tab, send me a voice message. And guess what? I'm going to send you something right back, because sharing is caring. And when you share something with me, I've got something fabulous to share with you as well. So feel free to let me know what you've learned outside with this particular session. But outside of this session, if you've got great stories about things that you've learned from me from the past, I'd love to hear those too. All ways to connect with you just make me happy. Yes. So let's do this. Let me do a quick audio recap, because sometimes I listen to my audios and I love doing recaps, so I can just go back to the ending, like cut through the whole thing and go to the last 30 seconds and listen to the recap. So maximizing your morning magic. Number 1, knockout list. What's something that you can do to feel like you have rocked out the day, whether it's a 10-minute activity, 30 minutes, 60 minutes, create a knockout list, start the day feeling accomplished, right? One of my favorite quotes, do something today. What is it? Do something today that your future self will thank you for. That's one of my favorite quotes. Write it down, take it to heart. Do something today that your future self will thank you for. Number 2, take a look at your social media platforms. Can you post something absolutely fabulous that you just saw? Repost it. It's a quote, it's a motivational message, it's a fabulous image, it's something funny that makes you fall out your seat and laugh and laugh and laugh. Yesterday, I posted a repost of one of my favorite old shows, Good Times. I'm an 80s baby. So I posted a repost on the Black Moms Club. Then ladies are loving it. They're laughing. Post something fabulous. Give that energy of love, light, and laughter. But remember, don't just post and repost and share other people's stuff. Quotes are great. Brand content is better. Post something in relation to your business so people get a sense of who you are and what you are sharing. Fabulous to and with the world right now. Number 3, I want you to take a piece of some of your best content, break it down into something that's micro, like a micro video, 60 seconds, 2 to 3 minutes, and share that material. Because at the end of the day, we want to make sure that you're giving people an opportunity to see a little bit of the best that you have to offer. And if you were going to share this awesome free content, make sure that you connect those free pieces to paid offers, right? This is how you convert browsers to buyers. This is how you generate everyday sales. Put great information out there, but make sure that you're like, listen, if you like this and you want a whole lot more, go here, get that. Strategy and intention. That's what everyday sales are made of. Number 4, if you're going to use something like Facebook marketing, you want to make sure that you are strategic. If you're going to put that free content out there, get people off of the social media platforms you're using, get them onto your email list. Make sure you pin that awesome offer to the top of your page. And also thinking about your website as well. Look at that page. When you look at the above the fold, the first thing that you see, the first images, the first links, the first text pieces on your website that you see when you click on it on the home page, is that a reflection of who you are and what you're up to right now? If not, take this opportunity, 30 minutes or 60 minutes, to make some changes, update some things, and show people what you're working on right now. Number 5, the inbox. So be aware, if you are a service professional, that if people are coming to you and you are sharing a solid service, there are questions that they need answered. They want to be able to communicate with you. So what communication opportunities are you giving to people? What are the questions that you're asking that are helping them get really clear about what you offer, what the results are, and how they can work with you? Number 6, updates. Sometimes you need to revamp and recharge your vision. Do you consciously know of or have people told you there are quite a few things that are not working, that are outdated, that are not quite what they need to be, that are closed, that need to be reopened? What should you be updating right now? Number 7, your plan versus your presence. What do you do when you don't know what to do? Start with a solid plan. It's not about you just kind of jumping on social media and video and podcasting and doing this stuff because people are telling you if you do it, you're guaranteed sales. You can't sell something if you don't have anything to sell. The marketing and figuring out what you want to market, that comes first. Creating your solid plan, start from there. Who do you want to sell to? What do you want to sell? If you need support and really strategies around streamlining that process, that's where it starts. That's where you need to begin. Hopefully this recap is helpful to you. Again, my name is LaShanda Henry, aka Sister Sense. I'm here to help you make sense of making money online. And today's dose of daily direction is all about helping you learn how to maximize your morning magic. Have any questions? Have any insight? Have anything that you want to just say to me because you want to be within my community? Feel free to reach out. My email is sistersense@gmail.com. My voice messaging services at sistersense.com, the gray tab on the right. And my clarity calls, you can schedule a 60 or 30-minute session with me at callme.sistersense.com. Until next time, go forth, create amazing. Bye.